Hey, good people, welcome to the channel. I'm Musically Malnourished, and you're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. This is a bit of a different video. It's the second in a series that I'm calling Music Maker's Diary, because not only am I on a journey to discover new music, I'm also on a journey to learn to create music. I am doing that primarily through Logic Pro and this MIDI keyboard with a little beat pad on it. And so, I listen to so many artists and I get inspired and kind of, have a good handle on technology. And so I've been on kind of a journey of learning to create music. And my hope is that obviously, I get better at it because I think that's really fun. And how cool would it be to eventually one day be able to create something that somebody wants to use? Who knows? Or maybe, be able to create something that I can release myself, but also that maybe it would inspire you. And it's just a great outlet to share with the community that I love so much. So we're going to get into Logic Pro here in just a second. I'm going to kind of break down this track that I've been working on. I don't get to mess with this as much as I would like. And the dangerous thing is that if I ever open this program in the middle of the day, I will spend hours messing around and then I shoot myself in the foot because there's something else that I should have been spending time on. The same is if I come down to my office in the evening after I put my kids to bed, I will be up way too late, but it's so much fun. The other funny thing about this track is that I actually came into this specific one because of a beat that I heard on the Dr. Dre 2001 album that was some strings, some bass, and some drums. And it was so cool. It was so simple, created such a great backing track for the rap, a great beat for the rap, that's what I came in here with the intention of creating. And you will see that it's anything but that. It got way more complicated, but I was just kind of following what I was feeling at the time. So let's hop in here to Logic Pro and I'll break things down. Okay, so you obviously can see here on the left all the different layers. I've got strings in here. I've got some keyboard stuff, some synth stuff. I even have some vocal things in here. Not me singing, because I am not a vocalist. But there was just something that I kind of put in as an intro that felt like it fit the way that things were going once I got further into the track. But you can see I did actually start with violin here, the studio violas. And then one thing that I do a lot is you'll see here as I open this, the notes that are here. A lot of times I'll just duplicate a layer and keep the same notes, but change up the sound. So for this one, obviously I brought in a different sound pack, these strings, but you'll notice it's the exact same notes. But the other thing that I did was, these are just little sustained notes. And the same thing happens even when we get down here further. I chop it up a little bit more, but I created these as a staccato, just the instead of something that's kind of reverberating and longer. So I have these long pulls, but then we have these. You can obviously hear. And then on this third layer, I guess here I'll isolate this one for a second. You'll hear the same thing, but it just has a different effect. So when all those are together, I know it's hard to always distinguish them, but I just wanted it to build. So you have the slow, then it kind of adds a little bit more. It gets a little bit drowned out by the next ones, but it's still in there and I think adds to it. Okay, the next thing is obviously I got some 808s in here. I just wanted to bring these in for effect. And I added a little bit of distortion and some reverb. And one thing I actually really like about this section, you'll notice there are some that are layered on top of each other, these two different kicks. So let's see. I don't know why it's not giving us the sound. Oh, here we go. I'm sorry. So when we get in here, let me just grab this one layer. Okay. You can hear this one. Kind of distorted. It's not super loud. And then you have this very, like, deadened. But I wanted them on top of each other. The hard hit of the deadened one with a little bit of that distortion. And you'll see them layered on top of each other here. But then I thought it was a cool effect to alternate them. And you can hear that pretty well when I go through it like this. See, it's just a little bit dun 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 versus dun 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 dun. So it was just something that I was kind of switching up and thought it gave it a little bit of dynamics. And I think I pretty much keep that pattern throughout. It gets a little bit different down in this section. But that's pretty much that bass line that goes throughout. And then we get here. And these are really fun because the way that I did these was I just played this same note with this, I think it's an arpeggiated sound. And so if you hold the key longer, it adds another kind of sound to it. So I have these short ones and then the longer one. See how it adds that extra little skip and echo? But it just created this cool, like, background sound. And that one goes even longer, which I just thought was kind of a cool, like, triplet type thing. And so that pretty much stays throughout, you know, anytime that I'm using it. And then we have this. Pretty simple, right? I just kind of layered it on top of these to give a little punch. Almost the idea of, like, it gives a source for that to come from. And that's something I've learned from listening through to a lot of artists, kind of throwing an additional sound on with the snare. Okay, here's the other fun thing. So these are both me. I have them on different layers because I have different effects on them. But all they are, I don't know why they're not showing up here in the bottom. That's okay. You can kind of see here, they're just these little vocal lines. So on this top one, I believe this is my male voice. It's just my voice. They won't believe us. So some reverb on it, because this whole thing's got a little bit of a spacey sound, you'll see. And then I took this part and I put a little voice effect on it.
What if they don't believe us?
Now, I only did this in one take, okay? So I probably could have tried to get a little bit more of a feminine sound, but I think it comes through, and my son didn't even know that it was my voice when I was letting him listen to this. And it has this, like, kind of distortion on it.
What if they don't believe us?
That kind of comes through as this spacey type feel. This is what it sounds like without the vocal transformer.
What if they don't believe us?
And then obviously if you take the reverb off,
What if they don't believe us?
it's just me kind of having this feminine voice. And so those will make sense in a second, but I'll play these together for you.
What if they don't believe us?
So what if they don't believe us?
They won't believe us.
They won't believe us.
Then what do we tell them?
Then what do we tell them? Now, here's one other place I used my voice, and I made it deeper and all this other stuff.
Everything.
Okay, and then I did it twice, and I added a different effect on the top one.
Everything.
So it gives it this, I don't know,
Everything.
some reverb and things on it. And the reason I did this on this layer is because I wanted this kind of flat sounding one here, and I reused this and kind of chopped it up throughout.
Everything. 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 Everything.
Now I wish I knew how, and maybe I can figure it out to add a little like scratching and do other things to it. So I know there's so much more I could do to this to create kind of a drum pack with it. But you'll find that throughout. And then there are a few other little things that I can show you, and then we'll play it. So I was just changing some stuff up here, creating these kind of eerie vibes in a sort of a bridge type section. This is one other kind of drum type sound I went for, and I was originally, is why it says shakers on this. I originally had this as shakers. It just wasn't fitting the vibe very much. Oh, here, let me bring it in view a little bit better. And I'll pop this open. So you can see here, originally I was doing this with shakers, so I was whatever. And then I started experimenting with different packs. And it's a little bit different. This one has a different sound on it. I think most of the notes are all the same though. But then when you put them on top of each other, okay, one other thing that I did that I just wanted to experiment with is I've done a few times kind of dead space, but here I just chopped up all these so they're kind of like answering back and forth, and you can see there's like a big gap, big gap, big gap, and then I cut them even more, smaller, 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 and then it kind of rides out toward the end. So two other things I'll show you. This one I was particularly fond of. This sound is really neat. I don't know, just kind of like this eerie alien type sound, but look at this. This is what I did with this. So let's take the reverb and the vocal transformer off of it. That's just me. I'm gonna wet the lips. I do that a lot, just listening to music. I'll like make little beats with whistles. I'm not a great whistler, but I did it and then added the reverb. And then this vocal transformer. Just gave it a real cool sound. And then these last two ones. And you'll hear it's a little different than this one coming up. As this one's a bit darker. And then I have a section where they're stacked. All right, so that's kind of all the unique things about the track. And like I said, if I wanted to, I could spend more time building more things out in this, and I may. But this is what I've created so far. Let's take a look at it, a listen to it together. All right.
What if they don't believe us?
They won't believe us.
Then what do we tell them?
Everything. Everything.
All right, so there it is. I am enjoying my journey playing with music and trying to create different things. Somehow I always end up creating kind of really dark sounding stuff. I don't know why. It's just whatever chords or anything I end up messing with and notes for some reason always end up fairly dark. But I thought it had a cool sci-fi type feel. And anyways, so just want to share this with you guys, and hopefully it continues to inspire you to create as well. Looking forward to having a conversation with you in the comments. Let me know if you're creating anything or working on something, and hope to catch you in the next one. All right, we're eating good.